Services and Support. And today we're going to go over the secrets to FlexJobs member success. And we've got a couple of presenters. Jeremy and Karen will be going through how to work on the advanced search options and how to set up a resume profile. So again, we do have a questions box on the control panel on your GoToWebinar control panel, and you may need to hit the orange arrow to expand the control panel to see the questions area. We'll have about 40 to 45 minutes of presentation with questions and answers at the end. So without further ado, we will go ahead and get this started. And I think we'll be starting out with Jeremy, or Karen, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Jess. And good day, everyone. Thanks for joining us today for our webinar. We're going to show you some things on our site that will help you really use the site, help you with your job search, help you with your resume profile. The first area that we're going to cover today is the advanced search option. We use this, or our members use this in addition to the resume profile, which Jeremy will be speaking about a little bit later. But the advanced search is where you can run a search on your own and really narrow down what you're looking for, the types of jobs you're looking for, and the flexibility. So you'll see over on the right-hand side, there's that orange bar that says Related Search Options. And we'll move through this slide, and then we'll go live to the site. So you can actually see where you can find the search. But the advanced search is located under the Related Job Search Options bar. And then when you get to the page, it'll be that light green. Those will be the fields that you will be filling in. So the first search option is to search by keywords. These are specific terms used in the field for searching, and something to remember when you're putting items in the keyword search, it'll be the exact word you're looking for. So a good example is if you're a writer, if you type in writing in that keyword, the only thing our system is going to search for is any job that says writing. But you could be missing jobs that may say writer. So it's going to be exact. The next option that you have is to exclude words. So this is going to filter out keywords that you don't want our system to search for. The next box will be the U.S. location. This is pretty important. You do want to enter your city and state, or you can, and once you do that, it's going to be, our system will search depending, like a lot of people want to use telecommuting jobs or want to search for telecommuting jobs on our site. So that location, when you search, it's going to give you results in your location, your area, as well as U.S. national or anywhere jobs. So the next box is the job type. Here you can choose exactly the type of job you're looking for, an employee, freelance, temporary. You can also select volunteer or internship positions, some of those as well. The next box we go to is the work schedule. Here you can choose full-time, part-time. You'll also see alternative schedule. Alternative schedule would be nights and or weekends, as well as flexible schedule you can look at too. The next box we go to is the career level. This is where you select the level that you would like to search for, entry level, experienced, manager, or executive. And then the next box we go to is the telecommuting level. It's important to remember with our telecommuting jobs, as you see here, there's some different options. So you can choose 100% telecommuting, completely out of the home, mostly, some, or option to telecommute, because you'll find all of those different types of jobs on our site. Not every company will let you work 100% from home, but there are certainly jobs that you can find if you just want to work solely from home. And the next option is the job categories. This is the fastest and easiest way to search. Each job that's listed on our site is assigned up to 5 different categories. So this category field, it'll be a drop-down box of all of the categories that we have on our website, 50 different job categories with subcategories included. So you can put the category you're searching for there, and it will search with the other criteria. The next box that you can select will be travel. Not everybody wants to travel, so there's a box there where you can put yes, no, or maybe. The final box that you'll have to select is the featured and award-winning employers box. Featured employers, this is a unique feature to our FlexJobs site. These are employers who post their jobs directly to our site and actively use our site, FlexJobs, in the hiring process. And we'll look at the icons. There's different icons next to the jobs too, so you'll know if it's a featured company. And we also have award-winning employers. These are companies who've won different recognition as an accomplished company. So some of the accolades that you'll see next to these employers may be Fortune 500 companies, Working Mother, and other accolades that we'll take a look at as well. Okay, some tips when you're doing your search. More is not always better as you're searching through the site. You can kind of play around with the advanced search and see what is getting the best results for you. But the more you have, you could be limiting your search and you might be missing some jobs that could apply to you that you're not seeing. The next one is if you're going to be using keywords, try mixing them up. Try different variations. Again, it is going to search for an exact match of what you put in that box. If you find that you're not getting enough results, what we recommend to people is to, at a minimum, select your job category, your location, and your telecommuting level. This is going to give you a broad search in your field and location, and you're not going to be missing out on anything if you're searching by keywords. So with that said, Jess, if you'd like to, if we could navigate over to the site, we'll kind of look at the advanced search live. Okay, so again, here's the orange bars that you're going to see on the right-hand side of the site. And there's the second orange bar is the related job search option. Again, the advanced search option is there, as well as any other search. There's the different types of searches if you just want to search by category, by location, for featured companies, that sort of thing. So up at the top of the page, just for an example, let's do the search that's going to get us the most results. Jess, if you want to put in location, let's put in Denver, Colorado. So again, for the broadest search, we're going to do location and level of telecommuting. Let's put 100%. And then job categories, let's just select online advertising or whichever. We'll just stick them in there. There we go. And before we do the search, I forgot to mention, if you forget what any of these boxes might mean or you need some clarification, there's a little blue tip in each upper right corner. If you hover your mouse over that, it will bring up the specifics about that job. Very helpful. Just gives you a little additional information if you're feeling kind of lost. All right, so when we get that criteria in and we click search for jobs, okay, here we are. Now, the page, we see job search results in the upper left, and we found 43 different jobs. To start off, at the right side up there on the top is that little oval that says icon guide. This is very important. So if you put your cursor over that icon guide, it's going to tell you what the symbols right next to the jobs mean. So that blue and green box, Those are jobs that you can do from anywhere in the world. If it's got a specific flag, it's whatever country. So the American flag, you can live anywhere in the United States. We get a lot of questions on the yellow and blue push pins. If a job has a yellow or a blue push pin, even if it is a telecommuting job, the company does need you to live in that location. For whatever reason, maybe they can only do business in that state, or it might have to do with taxes. They're just looking for candidates in those areas. And once you have a chance to use the site, you'll become very familiar with those icons. So just if we scroll down through there, we'll see the types of jobs. Most of them do have American flags. If a job, this one has numerous states, the project manager, numerous states, so you want to make sure you live in one of those states. If you ever see, you'll see as well too, an American flag and a yellow push pin, like that HRO benefits project manager position. What that means is the company is really looking for someone in that location, Atlanta, Georgia, but for the right candidate, they will select anyone from around the United States. So if you see those together, that's what that means. And if we scroll towards the bottom of the page, at the very bottom, there should be a box where you can actually save this search. Oh, I don't see that there.
I'm not logged in yet. I can log in real quick.
Oh, okay. What you'll see at the top of your search page when you're actually logged into your account, on the upper portion, it'll say Save this search. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom, there's also another box where you can save this search. So if it's a search that you want to run every day, you can go ahead and do that. And I'll show you where that search will show as well once we get that in there. Thank you, Jess. Okay, there it is. Save this search. So you can click that. And then the saved search will go to your FlexJobs homepage. So if you, on the right-hand side, the control panel, that orange bar, you can always click on My FlexJobs Home. Here is where your inbox will be. Second is your new jobs of interest, which is the system-generated jobs from your resume profile, which we'll go over shortly. You'll get the tips, the daily tip, and then below the tips is your job search activity. So here, any job you click on, you'll see recently viewed jobs. You'll see any applications that you've clicked, yes, I've applied for this job, and then the saved jobs. So you can click on that tab, or excuse me, saved searches, and that your search will be saved there. You'll see the one 926, jobs available in Denver, advertising NPR, and all telecommuting. So you can just click on that again, and that will take you. It'll run it every day when you go in there. So that is a quick overview of the advanced search. It's really helpful, again, in narrowing down your job search and trying to hone in on the types of jobs that you're looking for specifically. So I think we're good to Jeremy for the resume profile section.
All right, thanks, Karen. Great info. And just a reminder to everybody out there, we are going to have this webinar uploaded to the site. So if you want to go back, review any of that information that Karen went over, or anything in the webinar, you'll be able to. That's usually uploaded within a day or two, so you can find that on the site as well. So what I'm going to talk about is setting up your FlexJobs resume profile. Again, another important step to getting the most out of your account. So basically, I'm going to go through this slide, and then we'll kind of walk through each section of the resume profile as well, just so you get an idea of what that's about. So basically, first of all, the purpose of your profile, this is to help automate your job search, number one. So the information that you're putting into the resume profile, that's what it does. It's going to help you automate your job search and help employers who are using our site find you as well. So that's another side to it. Also, this is going to alert you of new jobs that match your career interests. So again, these are things that you are entering into your profile. It's going to help match those when we send you the emails about what new jobs have been added to the site that you may be interested in. It also is going to allow you to apply for positions with FlexJobs featured employers. And we'll go through and talk about what featured employers are. And there are some employers who will take applications through FlexJobs when you can use your profile. Other employers will have you redirected to their website because they have their own HR management system and they want candidates to apply through there. But we'll talk about that in just a second as well. And then you also have the option to upload your resume. If you have a completed resume, you can upload it to your profile. If you don't have a resume, there's a great resume building tool that you can use. And then you can also create a PDF copy of that you would then be able to send to an employer who may want people to apply directly on their site. So there's an option to do that as well. So Jess, if we could go over to the site, and then we'll get back to that one in a minute. And there's two ways to find your resume profile. So the first one is going to be up in the sidebar in the control panel. About the fourth option down there, resume profiles. So what you see there is Jess has a couple profiles. One of them has a title, writer seeking position. The other one is an untitled profile. Then the other one is create a new profile. So you've got your options right there for creating a profile. And then if you scroll down on the page, there's another way, which I think is kind of a better way to see what you have as far as profiles, is going to be the resume profile box. Basically, it's in the lower left side of the screen. And here are the two profiles that we just mentioned. So writer seeking a position, and then the other one below it is, so these are two separate profiles. The other one below it doesn't have a title or job categories or anything, so that's really an incomplete profile. And then you have the option to create a new profile, which is that blue button at the bottom. And why I like this better is that you can see which profile you want to edit. You can view it, you can edit it, you can delete it. So those are the options. You can download the PDF once you have it complete. So that's really the best, I think, area to look at. So Jess, if you wouldn't mind clicking on probably creating a new profile. I'm just going to walk through the steps on what someone would do to create a profile. So again, once you click on create a new profile, it's going to open up a page that has 4 or 5 tabs that we're going to go through. So first tab that we're open to right there is called the About Me. Just above where it says profile title required. So that's the tab we're on. So basically what you want to do here, again, there's a really good tip that tells you kind of what a profile title is. This is where you're going to market yourself. This is what employers are going to see. When they're searching profiles on our site, they're going to see the profile title. So again, it wants to be something descriptive about what you're looking for, what you've done, something short that explains what you're looking for. So what Jess is writing there, perfect. If you need tips, again, like all over the site, like Karen mentioned, to the right there, there's the little tips light bulb there, and if you click on that, then it's going to open the tip right there on the right-hand side in that sidebar. And that's going to give you recommendations on what a good profile title is. So again, if you get stuck on what that should be, always go back to the tips. That should help. So once you have that, you always want to click Save to make sure you're saving your information that you entered there. The next box, which is very important, is your contact information. This is how you want employers to contact you. So again, typically email address, great one to put in there. You want to make sure that it is a professional sounding email address. Maybe it's your name, maybe it's writer or something like that. But you want to make sure it's a professional email address, that's going to look good to an employer. Secondly, phone number. Again, this is optional. If you want to include a phone number, you can do that here. A lot of people will use their cell phone number is typically what most people will use there. But again, up to you. A lot of people will just put the email address in for employers just to contact them by email, which is totally fine. The next option is website. If you have a website, you may be a designer where you've got design samples or something on a site. This can also be a link to your LinkedIn profile. That's a great thing to put here. Again, LinkedIn is the professional networking site. If you have a profile there, you could include a link there, which is great, so an employer could check out your information on LinkedIn as well. The next two, city and state, again, very important, and zip, actually the next three. Again, this is going to help us determine, what jobs to send you that come in your email. If you accept emails from FlexJobs about new jobs posted, again, this is going to help narrow down your area so you would only get jobs that pertain to where you live, if you're in Denver, for example. And then country, pretty self-explanatory there. And then, of course, you want to save this again. When you go through it, make your selections and then hit save. Very important. The next option is picture. Totally optional. Some people do like to upload a picture. Again, a professional picture is best. And again, optional. Some people do, some people don't. It's totally up to you. But when you click on Browse, it's going to open up your computer files. You can find a picture. You can then upload it and then save. And that's going to save the picture. Next one, very important, set profile privacy status. So Jess, if you can click on Edit, this will give us our options for profile status. So 3 options. What we recommend is the middle option. Once your profile is complete, active and private. What that means is that your profile is active on the site, and only employers who have been approved by FlexJobs are able to view your information. So very important. That's what we suggest when you do this, when you have your resume profile completed, active and private. Private and inactive, this is the best status when you are creating your profile. Nobody is able to see it at this point, so if it's not complete, if you're still working on it, private and inactive is very good status. The top option is active and public. What this means is that your information can be viewable through the different search engines that are out there, and we'll talk a little bit more about that, kind of what that means when you're uploading a resume to your site, or to our site, to the resume profile. So again, active and private is really the best way to go. Private and inactive, have that checked when you're working on it or if it's not complete. And then again, save your options once you choose those. The last one there, just quickly, your home office equipment, computer system, what kind of internet connection you have, maybe what other kind of office equipment you have. Always good just to put in there. Employers do look at that just to see what people have, what kind of home office setup they might have. So again, save. And then if you look just below that, you can go to the next tab, which is the My Job Search. So if you click on that, it's going to take you to the next tab to fill out. And we'll just briefly go through each of these as well. First one, job categories. If you click on Edit My Categories, you can select up to 5 categories here that you're interested in. So again, you can just check boxes. You go through and check the ones that you're interested in, and then click Save. And again, you can choose up to 5. Now, some people are interested in more than 5, so you do have the ability to create a second profile. So for example, maybe someone's a writer and they want to have a writing profile, and they've also done sales, so they want to create a sales profile. You can do that. You'd set up 2 profiles, and then when you go through these steps, so for like your writing profile, your job categories could be all writing related. On your sales profile, you can choose 5 other categories that may be sales related. So again, it's a nice option to be able to create multiple profiles and click the categories you're interested in. And again, this helps in the jobs that we would send you in your new jobs for you email that you would get from us. The next category is the job details. So again, here Karen touched a little bit on, I guess, on some of kind of what these categories are from the advanced search. But again, pretty self-explanatory. You go through and check what you're looking for, the job type, schedule you're looking for, the career level. It's going to be a drop-down that's going to have 4 or 5 options there. Education. Desired salary, that's optional. Some people fill that in, some don't. Again, you don't have to fill that in, but that's optional if you'd like to. And then other compensation or benefits that you might be looking for, you can list there, and then make sure you click Save to save your choices. Yes, awesome one there, exactly. So you can list whatever you'd like to for other benefits. Okay, next one is the job flexibility preferences. Again, very important because this is FlexJobs and all the jobs have some kind of flexibility. So here again, top option, you can choose flexible schedule, part-time schedule, telecommuting, freelance. Those are kind of the main types of flexibility we see in our jobs. So if you chose telecommuting, here's the different levels, similar to what Karen had mentioned earlier from the advanced search. If you only want a telecommuting job, all telecommuting, you don't want to go to an office, that's your first choice right there. And then again, willing to travel, yes, no, maybe. And again, we've got the tips. If you want to check out the tips when you're going through flexibility preferences, click on the little light bulb there, and that's going to bring up the tips over on the right side, right there. So again, that's always there to help you out if you have questions. Okay, so the next one, availability and scheduling. Again, just really quickly walk you through that. Start date, when you're available, and how many hours you're interested in working. And click Save. And any of these, you can go back at any time and adjust these or change these. So anytime you can go back in and edit a profile. And that would be the selection you'd want to make if you were looking at a profile, you edit it, and then you can go ahead and make any changes that you want to. Okay, so if you click on that none on the bottom again, go to Next tab. This is a really important page and a great option if you already have a resume. A lot of people do. You can choose to add your resume and upload it right here. Again, the common browse button will take you to open up your computer's file, and you can find your resume, and you can attach it there. One important point about attaching a resume is that you typically want to look, so this resume here, it was a .docx, docx, which is a Microsoft Word file. But you want to make sure when you're saving a resume, you want to just save it as a .doc, a .doc. docx is, one of the newer versions, not so new now, but of Microsoft Office. But you don't want to send a .docx to an employer who may be using an older program and they can't open your resume. So when you save it in Word, just make sure it's a .doc. That way, anybody can open it. So just a kind of a side note. Yeah, and here's the options to save. So when you're saving it, yeah, that's it right there, exactly, Word, and that'll save it as a .doc instead of a docx. So just a little side note there. Also, there's an important note that we say right here. So basically we say, before you upload your resume, it's important to remove any contact information from the resume before you upload it. And the reason for this is that if you choose that active and public option, your resume is potentially searchable because it's been uploaded from outside of the site. Now, if you choose active and private, you're good. It's not searchable, but you technically don't need your contact information on your resume when you upload it to FlexJobs because you've already put your contact information into the contact info field on the About Me tab that we just did. And that's how an employer is going to contact you. And that suggests if you go back to the profile and click back to the About Me. So yeah, so the information right here, contact info, that is only going to be viewable to an employer who is approved to use FlexJobs, so that's where you want your contact information right there. So they can find you. Anytime your profile is sent to an employer, you send your profile to an employer, they are going to be able to see the contact information right there, so it doesn't need to be on the resume. This is just where you want it. So going back to the Upload Resume tab, you also have the option to upload a work sample. So if you have, maybe it's design samples or writing samples, whatever, that's where you can upload those. Maybe it's a brochure design, something like that. You can upload any design samples there. So below that, go to Next tab. And this is Build Resume. So what you would do here is, I'm not going to walk through each one, but basically what you would do these are all the areas of a resume. So you can just go in and basically fill this out like a resume if you don't have one. So you can add your work experience, your position, your employer, their website address, where it was, and the dates, so very basic information, but just it's a template, so you're basically creating a resume that would be used. And again, education, skills, languages, and we've got the tips to help you out there as well. But that's where you would basically go through and build a resume if you haven't already uploaded one before. If you've uploaded a resume to the site, you don't need to do this page. The information will be duplicated, so you really don't need to do this. The one area that you can fill out, though, if you already have uploaded a resume, is right there, the summary objective. And again, the tip here is very good. Again, this is going to be, you can go into a little bit more detail about what you're looking for here. Never bad to have a summary objective on your profile. And again, that tips bar is going to help you guide you on what you should write. But again, you're just going to kind of describe what you've done, what you're looking for. And then you save it. So, and actually, Jess, if you stay at the top, we've been moving through these tabs by that bottom link. You can also move from the top. So if you see right along the top here where it says Build Resume that's highlighted, you can move to each tab up here as well. So you can go on to the next one, you can go back, you can go forth, whichever you want to do. So again, two ways to go about it. So if you click on that last one, My PDF, basically this is going to create a PDF file of what you have entered into your profile. So again, optional. You don't have to download this or do this, but it does give you a nice PDF standalone document of what your profile looks like. Yeah, so while that uploads, it'll show you the format here and how that comes through. And then you can just save this to your computer, and then you can just send this directly to employers as well if you like. So, when you do go through that building a resume, all that information is going to be on here, so it does look very complete when you do that. So really, that's kind of where this comes into play, is if you use that build a resume feature, and then you want to send this out on its own to an employer, then you can download this, save it to your computer, and send it out to someone. So if you go back to the page we were just on, if you look just above that tab where it says View My Profile, right there you can click on that, and this is going to show you what the employer sees when they view your profile. So Jess uploaded a picture, you've got her name in there, you started to fill out some of the work experience, that's where your executive summary would be. Yeah, so that kind of gives you an idea, and then you can see where the resume is attached. So if you ever have a question, well, did my resume attach or not, you can always just click on the View My Profile, scroll down, and you can see that the resume is attached there. Yeah, so that's really all the points, all the tabs to go through when you're setting up your profile. So if you want to go back just to the PowerPoint, just go through a couple more slides, and then we will open it up for some questions. So we touched briefly on, there's a couple different kinds of employers that are on the site. We have what we call FlexJobs featured employers and then external employers. So a featured employer is going to be denoted as you see on the right here. So they're going to have a little F star, which is insignia, basically means that this is an employer that has come to us, they've been screened, approved, they are posting jobs directly on our site. Other little subtle differences is the job title is going to be in orange versus in blue that you see down below. And also for the featured employers, you're going to see the blue button that says apply for this job. So again, the points on the PowerPoint are, so these are employers who have come directly to us. They have been screened and approved. They can post their own jobs to the site. So these employers have the ability to browse through the job seeker's resume profiles. So they can look through the profiles that we just went through the process, and they can contact candidates directly if they choose. Also, when you click the blue button, apply for this job, you'll see one of two options. Possibly this employer is taking resumes through FlexJobs. If they are, and you have a completed profile, that's awesome. You can just send your profile directly to that employer. Potentially when you click that button, it may redirect you to the employer site because they want to take candidate information directly on their site. And if that happens, then you just fill out the information they're requesting. So the second kind of employer is an external employer. And basically this is an employer that our job researchers have found. So we have a team of researchers that work for FlexJobs who are looking for legitimate companies that offer flexibility. That's their big criteria. They're screening them, making sure they're legitimate. These jobs aren't posted directly on FlexJobs. Basically, we are finding the employer, finding the information, and then reposting the job for them to the site. So again, when you find a job like this, it's going to be a blue title. The apply button is going to look a little different. It's going to say to apply, go to the original job posting. So this link is going to take you directly to the employer site and typically to their application page, and so that you can apply directly for the job right there. So basically these employers, external employers, can't browse the resume information, the resume profiles, but you're able to apply directly on their site for the job. So that's the difference of the two that we have. So go on to one more slide, just a couple tips. Again, creating profiles, you can create more than one. So if you have different interests, again, like I said, maybe writing, maybe sales, create 2 profiles, one for writing, one for sales. You can do that. For each profile that you create, whether it's 1 or whether it's 2 or 3, make sure that you use really clear, precise, and catchy language for the profile title. This is what the employers are seeing, and you just want to make sure that you stand out on your profile and really selling yourself on whatever it is, if it's writing or if it's sales. Again, another point is to fill out as much information as you can. Again, this is going to help employers who are looking at the profiles, and then it's also going to help in our job matching when we send you potential jobs. Again, very important that we highlighted setting the privacy status. Again, keep it inactive while you're working on your profile. When it's done, select the active and private. It's the best option that we have. And then the most important, again, besides that the profile privacy status, are the job categories and the job details. Again, we went through those. Those are on the second tab under My Job Search. And again, that's really drilling down to what you're looking for and what's really going to make your profile work for you, is by having that fully completed and accurate as to what you're looking for. So that's really everything we've got on, yeah, actually one more thing. Forgot about the last slide. There is a video walkthrough on the profile process as well. You'll find this when you're in the profile. It's going to be on the right-hand side. There's going to be a short 10-minute video that's going to walk you through exactly what we just went through. And again, also this webinar will be online as well for you to go back and reference. The video on profile is good. Very good resource as well. So with that, Jess, I think we'll open it up for any questions that folks have had.
Okay, not a problem. So there are another couple of features that we did want to cover as far as the best ways to use your account. So I want to touch on those really quick. One of the really great features of FlexJobs is the Refer a Friend. So above your control panel when you're logged in, you'll have this option, and you can click this and send a message. You can either use Facebook, Twitter, or email and send it to your friends. And if they sign up for an account, they will get a discounted account as well as, or a discounted rate for their account, as well as you will receive a free month of subscription for every person that signs up off of your link. So that's a really great feature. Another thing that we like to highlight as well for using your account to its fullest is the special savings offer area. Here you're going to have different partners and companies that have worked with FlexJobs and offered discounts to our members who may need these different services. So we have things like Resume Deli, which is a great service if you're looking to have your resume reviewed by a professional or cover letters written. There are also options for health, so different workout and fitness areas, lots of different things for home offices. So if you're getting set up with a home office and you need some of these different products, it's a great way to go through and get discounts on things that you may be purchasing already. So I definitely encourage you, if you have not yet, to check out that special savings offers. Maybe be able to save yourself a little bit of money. And then the last thing that I encourage people to do, if they have not already, is to check out the community and blog section of FlexJobs. This is updated on a daily basis. We go through and write articles anywhere from information on how to do your job search, up to the different benefits that you can be offered for telecommuting. The webinar itself will be on this job resources tab. And if you go to webinars and videos, you can actually view any of the webinars that we've done in the past. In addition to this one, they will all be listed here. So if you're interested in anything that we may have done prior to you finding out about FlexJobs, or if you're interested on how to write a cover letter, for example, this is a really great webinar that you can go in and look through as a job seeker. So definitely something that I would encourage you to look at regularly. There's a lot of different information that we get and updates that we get from different partners that we work with as well that get put onto this area. So if you've not checked it out, I would definitely recommend that. So the next thing that we're going to do is I'm going to throw out some questions that we've got from people as the webinar has been happening, and if you have any others, you're welcome to send those over right now. The first one that we're going to go ahead and do is, when jobs are posted and the company is no longer taking resumes, will the posting be removed? Just to make sure that they're not applying to positions that are no longer accepting applications. Jeremy, do you want to take that one?
Yeah, sure will. Yes, they are. There's a couple different ways. The employer, when it's obviously it's a featured employer and the employer has posted the job, they can remove it at any point when it's closed, when they've already accepted enough resumes or hired someone. They can take that down at any time. We also do several database cleanings throughout the week, so we will go in and check links. So when the link is no longer valid, we remove the job as soon as possible. So we take that off the site as soon as we find it. There's also an option that Jess is pointing to right there called Flag This Job. So time to time there will be a job that you come across that we haven't got to yet or the employer has not removed yet. If you find one, if you click that Flag This Job, then we'll immediately take a look at it as soon as we get that email. And if the job has been, if the link is no longer good, then we remove it immediately. So that's a great way. If you find a job, helps us keep the database clean. But yeah, we are constantly going through cleaning and encouraging employers to remove jobs that have been filled as well.
Wonderful. We have another question. Is there any provision to upload a short introductory video that can be viewed by prospective employers?
That's a great question, and I don't know offhand. If we're able to upload video to the resume profile. Well, unless you know, Jess,
you have to do it as a link to another website. So you could put it in as your part of your contact information or work sample.
Yes, that would work there. You could do it right there at the website link. So it would need to link to another site, correct, where the video is. Actually, uploading a video to the profile, I don't believe that would work, but you could do a link right there, and that would work great. And then it would show with your contact information, or someone could click on it and view a video.
All right. Another one that we have is, should you upload a resume and use Build a Resume so your information appears in your profile for companies that use FlexJobs, or is it better to do one or the other?
In my experience, I would say if you have a resume, upload your resume to the site, ideally. You don't really need to do both. I guess it's just duplicating efforts. But obviously, employers are used to seeing a resume that's either a PDF or a .doc file. So I think that's preferable. I mean, you can do either. You don't really need to do both. I would upload a resume, though, if it was me.
All right, wonderful. Karen, are the search results exportable so that you can sort the data the way that that someone would want to view it.
Could you repeat that question, please?
Yeah, absolutely. Are the search results exportable so that you can sort data the way that you would want to view it? So when you're doing a search, is there a way to search just by the specific data?
Like with the advanced search. If I'm understanding the question correctly, maybe using that keyword, if you're not using the advanced search, and I hope I'm answering your question, if you're not using the advanced search, if you just say if you scroll down to maybe search for jobs by location.
Jess, was the question about exporting the data? Is that what you said?
Yeah, and I'm wondering if maybe this helps a little bit. So on a saved search, if you're looking for specific job types or something further in more detail than the basic job search results, it does give you the option to look at only the jobs, for example, that are manager positions within the advanced search or the saved search. But there is not a way, she's asking if you can export it to a spreadsheet, and there is not.
Correct, right. So you're able to, on this page, once you do a search, you can look over on the right-hand column to drill down more in that search. But you're not able to export this data into a spreadsheet and manipulate it how you want. It does stays on the site, and you can, basically you have to work within the search frames that are set up on the site. So again, advanced search, and then you can drill down with the categories on the right without having to go back to that advanced search page. I mean, that would be the ideal way to do it.
All right, thanks, guys. And then what is the approximate percentage of FlexJobs featured employers actively looking or using FlexJobs for recruiting compared to the external employers where the job postings were listed by our team?
Oh boy, good question. And I don't know what the percentage breakout is. One thing for sure, that I do know on the site is that every job on the site is an active open position. So all positions are active and open. If I had to guess on a breakdown right now, it's probably about 60% external jobs that our researchers are finding. 35–40% are the employers coming directly to us. Again, just to guess, it's getting very close to 50-50, but it's not there now. It's more external jobs versus the featured employer jobs, but it's getting very close to being 50%. But right now, it's definitely more external.
Okay, so that's wonderful. We do have time for another couple of questions if anyone has them. Answer anything about the search or the profile.
And Jess, if we're waiting for a question to come in, maybe we could look at one of the postings from a featured employer where you're actually going to attach your resume profile, just so you guys can see what it looks like. It is a little bit different, and we do get some questions on it. So here is a job with one of our featured companies. You see the F star and the orange job title, like Jeremy mentioned. So any job you're going to apply for on the site, you want to click that job name. So you'll go into the details of the job and the description. There's the blue link on the bottom, apply for this job. So if you click that, Jess, if you decide you want to apply for this job. Okay, so this is a job where this company does want you to apply through our website. So you'll see there, cover letter. So what you want to do, you want to either type out your cover letter. You can also copy and paste a cover letter in there if you've already maybe selected a Word document. So you want to make sure you do that. Directly below there, it says choose profile to include. with this job application. And you'll see here with that drop-down box, there's 2 different profiles. So you want to attach the one that you want to use. It's also important to remember if you happen to go in and create a resume profile, but you hadn't titled it yet, you hadn't made your profile title, it will not show in the drop-down box. So it's really important, that first tab, About Me, to make sure you have a title in there. I think it's, for some reason, it can be a little confusing to people here, how you actually attach your resume profile. If you only have one profile that's titled, it'll automatically default, but you just want to check that box to make sure you've got that in there. And then when you click Apply for the job, that will send all of your information in. So that's a featured employer. You're going to stay on our website, type out your cover letter, or copy and paste it, and make sure you've got your resume profile on there with your resume attached. So you make sure that that employer gets your resume, or with the Build Resume section filled out so they can look at your qualifications.
And another thing we can point out, so now that I have actually applied for this job, it will show in my application history. So you can see it either on the control panel, or you can go down to Job Search Activity and see applications. So it will tell you, what the position was and the date that you applied for it. Okay, and then we have another question. I usually go through a long list of search results and save the ones I'm interested in. After I look at them later and decide that I'm not interested, is there a way of unsaving it on that screen for the unsaved job?
At this time, you actually would have to, on your saved jobs list, you would actually have to go into that same job again. Just if you could pull up one, and if we could just save one kind of as an example, any job. Okay. So there's the area to save the job. So when you go back to your saved job list on your home page, and you actually have to go back into that job. So you can click on the job. It'll be in the same area. If you scroll down towards the bottom, there'll be a little box that says unsave this job. So that's the way you can remove the jobs from your saved jobs list if you no longer want to have them there.
All right, and then we have one more question, and then we'll wrap up here. Do we receive feedback on the job applications directly from the employer, and do they send rejection letters?
Yeah, I'll take that one. It's up to each individual employer whether they get back to candidates or not, and it depends on the employer. Typically, what we see recently is that you will only hear from an employer when they want to interview you. If you're not going to be interviewed for a position that you've submitted a resume, chances are you won't hear anything. That's just kind of typically how it's been. We've seen the trend going lately. So yeah, if you're not and really we see 2 to 3 weeks is pretty typical for an employer to get back to someone when they do want to interview them. But if you're not going to be interviewed, typically you won't hear anything. It's unfortunate, but that's kind of how it's been going, the past few years with employers and communication to potential candidates.
All right, thank you, Jeremy. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. So thank you again to Jeremy and Karen for coming on and showing how to use your FlexJobs account most successfully. You're always welcome to go to FlexJobs.com and look at different information. If you have questions, you can send emails to feedback@FlexJobs.com, and we'd be glad to answer. You can give us a call at Client Services as well. We wish you all the luck in your job search and your careers, And again, we will be sending out an email of this recording. If you want to go through and look at this information again in the future, we will send that out to you tomorrow. Have a great day, and thank you again, Jeremy and Karen.